Earlier on today, I put up a silly video where I was basically pretending not to know what Warhammer Fantasy is. The entire idea of the video is that Age of Sigmar has proven its success by spawning a prequel in the form of the old world. Even as I say it again, it's still making me laugh slightly, but I also know that even acknowledging that the whole thing is obviously a joke and that fantasy exists, there's going to be at least someone who's like, I don't like that at all. Fair. But that was supposed to be the whole thing. The whole thing was just a flat ignoring of the fact that fantasy existed or exists. The fact that we have things like both Vermintide games, or we have Total War Warhammer or Total War Warhammer 2 or Total War Warhammer 3, try saying those in a row quickly. It was all just a daft thing of like, the old world is actually a prequel to AOS, which is technically correct but not really correct. I didn't really anticipate just how quickly the comments would devolve into a fair amount of arguing and fighting. I mean, generally speaking, the comment section around here, at least, is fairly jovial and everyone seems to get on pretty well. We don't have much in the way of full-blown arguments going on, and really it's my fault for forgetting that this is YouTube and things can just escalate or devolve quicker than you might think they would. The thing is, I'm not all that surprised in a way, because anytime AOS and fantasy come up, especially in the same sentence, there tends to be some sort of discussion about which is best, etc, etc. Something I didn't really consider, though, was the idea that there would be people who thought I dislike either. That I don't like fantasy or the old world, or that I don't like AOS. I mean, the idea that I don't like AOS seems kind of mad to me, because on those two shelves alone, there's 4,000 points of AOS, there's another 1,000 points there, there's another 1,500 points there, and there's more over there, and there's more over there as well, actually. I think I'm getting close to about 8,000 points across various armies. Some of them, like, full 2,000 point armies, some of them just little side projects. I quite like AOS. Every single one of those things as well, by the way, is lovingly kit-bashed or converted, or is just an outright horror show that I got somewhere else. Like the big dragon over there. Love that thing. So I love AOS. I don't know whether I love fantasy because I never got to experience it. And I don't know whether I'm going to love the old world because everything went out of stock very, very quickly, and there are other pressures on my wallet currently. I'm looking at you, light that drips when it rains. Yeah, no, that's not great. But something that I really wanted to try and not head off at the pass. Too late for that now. The pass is full of floodwater. What I wanted to do is say that there is space for both. There should be space for both. The return of Warhammer Fantasy in the form of the old world is a good thing. It's a positive thing, and I don't think it should be looked at as anything other than that. And the continued existence of Age of Sigmar is also a good thing. We've finally reached a point where I'm not going to say everyone has got what they wanted, but we have both options, both officially supported options. Of course, you could always play fantasy. If you wanted to play the last edition that Games Workshop made, that was always an option for you, but I get that there are a lot of people who don't want to see a bunch of models disappear. They don't want to see the fact that Tomb Kings and Bretonnia were just outright removed, which, by the way, I totally share the dislike for that decision. I would have loved to have seen those factions in AOS, and while I do like things like the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, and I do like Nighthaunt, they're not Tomb Kings. And I still wanted Tomb Kings. God knows I've complained about the fact that the Necrosphinx has not been available for years, often enough in videos. No, we're now at a point where the people who wanted to use those armies in an official capacity in an officially supported game can now do that, and that's brilliant. It's a shame it's taken this long. We're also at the point now where those who left Fantasy and moved on to AOS, who don't want to turn back for whatever reason, you still have AOS. You still got the thing that you like, and the people that had the thing that they liked now have that back again. And the people who missed it the first time around, myself included, now have an option to actually get into it without having to, trawl through eBay for Bretonnian or Tomb King armies and buy them at insane values, because now we actually have them officially available, and whilst they are in some cases kind of pricey for how old they are, the fact is they are now available again, and there is a whole new generation of players who missed out on that and may have wanted to get into it but never could. This is the good bit. This is the positive bit. The people who have been waiting have got what they're waiting for. The people who moved on still have the thing they moved on to. The people that missed all of it now have a chance to go back and see what it is that they missed. So I just want to make something really super clear. I don't hate fantasy. I don't hate the old world or Age of Sigmar. It's absolutely fantastic that we now have the option to do at least two of those in an official capacity. Given that one of them is the resurrected form of the other, it might not be fantasy back as it was, but it's still fantasy in a form that previously simply wasn't available. It's still an officially supported version of that older world. It is still now there and accessible for not just older players and people who have been waiting for this opportunity, but newer players as well. That's just a positive. It's just positives all round, because we now have the choice again, a choice that was previously lacking. So, should we pitch the two against each other? Should we say one's way better than the other? One is absolutely fantastic, the other one's terrible. Oh, one got rid of the other one. No, especially not now, when that option is actually here. Now that we have the choice of the two, there's not really any reason to hate one or the other. If you don't like one of them, simply don't play one of them. God knows we do it with every other game that Games Workshop makes. Not everything has to be a competition. The fact is, right now, I'm preferring AOS to 40k by quite a long margin. Except, you'll have noticed there's no videos talking about how bad 40k is, or how AOS is way better, or how one is simply a superior product to the other. Because I don't want one to be superior to the other. I want people to be able to play the thing that they like. And right now, we finally have the point where everyone can play the thing that they like. And that should be the most important thing, shouldn't it?